Hey, everybody. Cindy Ashton here with the amazing Christina Daves.
Hello.
Hello. And I love it. You know, we already have viewers on. Look at that. Sue Ryan's already on the line. She says, I'm very excited. We are very excited to have you too.
I'm so excited to kick off 2021. Cindy and I have been talking. It's like, we need to go live. Like, we need to just talk to people and help people. And because 2020 sucked. Right? No, we're just reshifting and it ended up not sucking. It ended up being really good, yeah. but in a weird way, and in a way that my goodness, Cindy, you and I learned so much this year from diving in and having to shift our businesses and then being able to help people do the same thing.
Right. And, you know, and normally Christina and I make most of our money on stage. So, hey, Paul Fernandez is in the room. What's up? He goes, hey, what's up? So we've actually have a bunch of people already here, which is fantastic. So for those of you that are here, we are here as this Q&A. So start typing your questions for us. You can ask us how to get press. You can ask us how to be a better storyteller, how to do your social media, how to, hey, ladies, oh, look at that. Callie on LinkedIn is here. She's fantastic. But ask us anything to do with presentation, PR, branding, whatever you need in your business, ask us. So Ralph says, I love it. 2020 did suck. The producer of live events and or a professional MC moderator. So Ralph,
I had a calendar on my wall that I see from my desk. I buy the big, the year at a glance, and I would have stickies all throughout the year. And March, my year was booked out. I had pink, I had orange, I had webinars and live appearances. And I finally got so mad in September, I tore it off the wall and threw it out. And I didn't buy one for 2021. I'm going with a new approach this year.
That's so funny. All right. So I'm just waiting for some questions to come in. Callie said 2020 was actually amazing for me. Awesome. It was a great year for me too. I'm normally on the road 24/7, and to be off the road and actually like have an opportunity to really reshape my business was awesome. So Sue says, my goal for 2021 is to become known as a go-to person for positive caregiving. And she's looking for tips and strategies. So
I was going to say, can you just type in and define positive caregiving a little bit? Is that caregiving of the elderly? Is that now caregiving your children at home while they're in virtual school? Just to give us more of an idea so we could give you some ideas.
Yeah. And while we're doing that, Christina, when we talk about being an A-lister in your industry, being that go-to expert, really having that credibility that people go, dang, I have got to work with that person. Let's talk, as we're waiting for the questions to come in, really let's talk about what's fake credibility, because one of the challenges that's happened for years now is there's a lot of these gurus selling fake credibility, and we're seeing a lot of you, without knowing, you're actually buying and spending tens of thousands of dollars or doing strategies that are not actually sustainable for long term. So for example, I had a friend spend $2,000 recently who might be watching, and I love you to dearly, by the way, if you're watching. He spent $2,000 to get pictured with Martha Stewart. So here's the thing. So he's like, great, now I've got instant credibility. Well, you don't, because here's the thing, is that people are going to go, wow, you were pictured with Martha Stewart, and 4 days later, no one's going to give a shit. Because at the end of the day, and this person is so unbelievably brilliant and has such amazing stuff that he does, that he got that initial 4 or 5 days of hype, but then it was gone. So it's really important that we don't buy into this fake credibility, because it's about being sustainable. So for example, if you're following me, you see that I am pictured with celebrities a lot, but that's not a one-time thing. I don't pay for that. I actually get paid to do that. Oh, great. So we've got questions coming in. So I'll finish this point up. But
I'm going to piggyback on that super quick, and then we'll dive in.
Yeah. Go ahead. Okay. You've got questions. I love it. But, I am a presentation and presence trainer For me to be interviewing celebrities on the red carpet and being an award-winning TV host, they all connect. So that builds my credibility, and I'm not paying for that. I'm asked to do that and paid to do that. So that's an ongoing part of my brand, but I'm not buying fake credibility. So Christina, piggyback on that.
I just wanted real quick to share a story. I was at an event and this exact thing happened. You can spend $2,000 and get your picture taken with X. And this will get you instant credibility just to have the picture. And I was, as Cindy said, I'm like, well, that's not going to give me credibility, really. It's a picture. I had the gentleman in an elevator, and I said, I loved your story. I heard you on the stage. I would love to interview you for my audience. I talk about X, Y, and Z. And he said, yes, for free. And then I interviewed him. Which one makes me more credible? Right? Interviewing this person on their what was related to PR. He had gotten a lot of free PR, which was just a little part of his story, but that's the part I loved. So by telling him that and providing value to my audience by sharing him, I didn't pay for that. I didn't, and then I got more than a picture, I got an interview. So think about it in those terms.
Right.
What makes you the expert? A fake picture doesn't make you an expert.
Right. You know, and there's this other guy who some of you might know, and I will not say the name, that people spend $10,000, $15,000 to be interviewed with a big celebrity like John Travolta. Again, like if you don't have good presence in your interview, if you don't know how to soundbite, if you don't have your message together, people are gonna go, oh wow, you're with John Travolta, but no one's gonna buy from you because you didn't have all the other stuff in place. So let's get to these questions. C. Ryan says, I've been in roles of caregiving support for family and loved ones with types of dementia for more than 30 years. Whoa. See, there's instant credibility. We need to make you famous in your field. I love this. I have developed a positive approach, which is great. So my messages help caregivers practice massive acceptance and radical presence to allow them, well, we've got so many questions coming in, to make wise choices in their best experience for themselves and their great. So Sue, can you tell us what you have been doing to get more exposure while we go?
Well, and I'll just throw out an idea for you right now. With COVID, so many people have pulled their loved ones out of senior living facilities, and they've brought them home. And that is newsworthy right now. What can we do? I actually had a client who is an RN who does home health care, and we got her a beautiful segment for National Caregivers Day. Write this down. I think it's September 15th. So you should be pitching that in September. But that's something you can talk about is, caregiver burnout. How do caregivers who are now taking care of their elderly at home because they don't want them in the senior living facilities, how do they take care of themselves?
Yeah,
so
love that.
Pitch your local media outlets to start. You can really pitch anywhere now, but with COVID and everything's like this, but it's in your own backyard.
Love it. So we have Kashif. My goal for
I know.
Oh,
Kashif.
you know Kashif.
Yeah.
He's got the coolest name. Right. And he's got this. I love your profile picture, by the way. It speaks a lot, which is what's important. So my goal for 2021 is to close 100 real estate deals. Bam. I love how he's owning it. I'm in North Virginia. Any tips or creative ideas to target home sellers? We have many.
Well, and Kashif, if I remember, you were first-time home buyers. So you can just kind of verify that. But again, attracting where they are. So, and again, Cindy, I have the advantage. I'm in Northern Virginia. I know. I would tell my agents, for example, I live in Gainesville, target apartment buildings in Centerville, because that's who moves out here. If you're in Ashburn, where do those people move from? Those are the areas you want to get to those people. There's a lot of online things you can do, but you can target very inexpensively, Facebook and things like that, and really hit, like the Centerville zip codes, the Centerville, what are those people like? Where are they? And really hone in on a target market. And then again, it's your messaging. What are you going to do for them that's different from everybody else?
Yeah.
How do you help the first time? Maybe you can show them how they can buy their first house with no money down, with, whatever that is. What is your unique And I seem to remember too, you were doing some creative financing with somebody. And if you're still doing that, that's a great hook because it's really unique.
I love that. Yeah, it's so important to not just say we're going to sell your house at top dollar in the short amount of time, because everybody says that. What is it that you do that's unique? And I love that you do creative financing. That's perfect. Okay, we're going hard and fast. We've got a lot coming in. It's fantastic. So Callie, California gal, filmmaker, her dream for 2020 is to make a successful doc series called Pearl, which showcases female entrepreneurs supporting women in transition who have experienced or experiencing homelessness, which, by the way, Callie has, and she's no longer homeless, and supporting them in their own businesses via entrepreneurship, mentorship training. Any suggestions on who to reach out for potential partnerships with influencers to spread the word and raise awareness? Do you want me to take this one?
Sure.
All right. So I love that. The first thing you want to do is start to say, in terms of influencers and people who might be sponsors and sponsor and really support this, start to make a list of those different companies and those different entrepreneurs that have similar causes, that have similar interests. So for example, if I was going to do something around my TV show, which is social issues, I would be targeting glow.com because it's all about healthy, fitness and yoga and meditation. I would be targeting Luna bars. It's all about healthy eating. So you want to start to think of what are those products and those brands and those entrepreneurs that really champion homelessness and entrepreneurship. And then once you've got that, start to actually do really creative storytelling online where you actually include those people and those brands in your story. And once you've done that a few times and you find out who their partnerships people are in their company on LinkedIn, because they're going to start noticing who's this Callie person, who's she, because to pitch cold, especially in COVID, does not work. You've got to give a little, right? You've got to give a little before you get a little. So start to really actually champion these brands that you want to work with while finding out on LinkedIn who actually does the marketing, the partnerships that you would be able to connect with.
And find some stories of homeless women who are now successful entrepreneurs. Did you say she's in California?
Yeah.
Follow Grandma's House of Hope. Janae is a client of mine. They've got 17 homeless shelters, and they share stories like this. These could be people that you start interviewing to get people excited about what this series would look like. Yeah.
We have so many. Let's keep going. Mark. Yeah, but if I'm in a picture with Travolta and not wearing one of those wings, that would give me authentic authority. So I actually was at the Grammys interviewing celebrities. I think it was 2016 or 2017. And John Travolta walked right past me. And it's so obvious he's wearing carpet on his head. Okay, sorry. I had to tell that story.
I like him bald. It's okay.
Top Gun Audit School, LLC. I'd like to become the go-to for healthcare workers, get inspired that they can in fact change healthcare so they make a positive impact on their job, their hospital, their community, and their patients they serve. These folks are heroes even before the pandemic. Oh, I love it. I can send you my recent ad if you like. Okay, good. So Top Gun, this is amazing, but tell us what your question is so we can help you. In the meantime, awesome. Thanks so much, ladies. Huge help. So keep, and Mark says, nice to meet your acquaintance, ladies. Thank you.
Too.
So Top Gun, can you ask us what your question is that we can help you with?
Because I know what he does. It could be that you want to highlight the healthcare workers to help people realize what you do. If I remember correctly, because I know we talked a couple of years ago, but he helps kind of cut the waste in the healthcare, like in hospitals where they're wasting money on like insurance and things like that. So it could be just making people aware of you by doing an interview series or highlighting the frontline workers through your social media, through your blog, through things like that.
Yeah, and he said, how do I get PR to expose the message?
And again, in interview series, something like that, where you're bringing them to the forefront, and then you can go to the media and say, and maybe they all have an interesting story to tell, or in inspirational story, things, people who've sacrificed their families, they've moved somewhere else to keep their families safe. Tell those stories. And then, you could be positioned to be the person that they interview to talk about, your expertise in the healthcare space and why this means so much to you.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so we have more stuff coming in, but I just want to take a quick moment, Kashif, thank you, Christina, and for your compliments and tips. So I just want to take a moment as we're waiting for more questions to come in, because we are here for you. We're super excited. If you know that you really want to be that A-lister in your business, we have a couple of invitations for you. For those of you who are like, Cindy, Christina, I'm in, we've got 5 spots to work with us personally to really hone your message, get you PR, get you on TV, get you in radio, and help you with your storytelling, your messaging, all those pieces. If you want to be one of our 5 and explore for the right fit, go to visibilityconsultation.com. If you're the person watching going, Cindy, Christina, you two are awesome, but I'm not quite ready, or my cash flow is not great right now, then what we have for you is our Captivate and Cash-In hub. So it's a $97 a month membership where you're getting weekly strategy from us, plus group calls, and you can start today for only $27 to test it out. So that's Captivate.
And trainings. There's tons of training in there.
Oh yeah, there's tons of like you go in there and there's like tons of access to trainings. Plus you actually get a monthly call with us and weekly strategy from us as well to keep you on track. So those are your couple of, we've got so many stuff coming in. Choices for you. So did you see the information that I sent? What information, Sue? I'm sorry. We have so many things coming in.
Well, she had talked about the healthcare, and then we gave her some ideas. That's what I was talking about. Caregiver burnout would be a great topic to pitch the media because of COVID, because so many people are bringing their elderly loved ones home with them, not leaving them in senior facilities. And that's just a great thing to talk about. What does that mean? What does that mean for the family dynamic? How can caregivers stay healthy? Because that's a big issue, that they sacrifice their own health to take care of others.
Yeah. Okay, what other questions do we have? Can you send the links in the chat? Yep. So, you know what? I'm going to have to do it because it came up in the YouTube. So let me put this.
This is technology out of my realm.
All right. So I just put one for Hub. I'm putting the one for Hub in the LinkedIn. So Christina, you can't see the questions. I'm trying to do all of this at once.
I know, and I can't see. Let me see if I can get to the.
This is hilarious. So while we're waiting for more questions, let's talk about something else that, in terms of getting real credibility, you heard earlier that we were talking about really leveraging influencers. So for example, a lot of you are on LinkedIn and we can see that. Okay, so we were talking. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask. I'm trying to write in the LinkedIn chat for everyone.
I've got the YouTube coming, so.
Yeah, it's good. But, a lot of people try to post every single day and come up with great content. That's really exhausting. It's better to really be able to build your influence. One of the best things you can do is find other people who are influencers who have the same market as you. Okay. Kashif, both of those links are now there. Perfect. In the LinkedIn. So one of the best things that you could do is find those influencers who already have a ton of people commenting and add your voice. So for example, as a presentation trainer, a lot of salespeople come to me because they suck at presentation and they can't build rapport. So I have found 5 or 6 influencers on LinkedIn who are sales trainers, but they don't do what I do, so we're not competing. So what I do is, because they get 20, 30, 40 different, people commenting who are my ideal clientele. Sorry, I'm still trying to, oh my God. Okay, I finished talking and I'll put this link in. Oh my God. So what I'll do is I'll look at what the topic is and say, oh my God, so Larry, I love how you said this, this, and this. In addition to that, from a presentation perspective, when a salesperson does this, it loses them sales in this way, and they would need to do this to really add on to what you're saying. Well, guess what? I always get 5 or 6 different people liking that comment and interacting with me, and then people add me on LinkedIn, and then I get into conversations. It's way easier to just go and poach other people's walls. But when I say poach, I mean that you're complimenting them, you're giving back to them, and you're adding your own wisdom, and there are 20 other people on that stream are seeing your stuff. And it's far easier to do that than to really be trying to constantly come up with great content. Okay, so we've got, hold on. I'm trying to get visibility consultation. Oh my word. Consultation.com. I can't spell consultation right now. So we've got, okay, so Mark says, as I'm trying to figure this out, I'm an independent agent, family-based alternative funding company. Cool. Mission is to help 80% of U.S. small businesses the banks and the government won't touch. Boom. Mark, I love it. What's your question for us as I'm trying to learn how to spell today?
Well, you spell, I'll talk. Again, COVID is it in the media now. It's not going anywhere. It's just the topic. So if you can put things around, I would like to put my past as a professional newspaper reporter and editor-in-chief to use with PR helping. Yes, I'd love to know where you are an editor-in-chief and if you still have connections there. But telling the story of small business. So how do I get money if I'm a restaurant and I couldn't be open in 2020, or I could only do carry out? There's still the federal rules are still in place for lending requirements. So what does that mean? So somebody like you can come in and help small businesses. So I think that's a really good story to tell across the board: newspapers, podcasts, television, radio, is that, there are, and find the statistics. How many businesses lost money in 2020? And because of that, there are restaurants that probably can survive. They'll just need a little infusion, once everything opens up again, and then New York, where they're shut down again, California, they're shut down again. What can you do to help them get over this hump? The vaccine is here. The end is in sight. How do we save small business? Oh,
Mark, you have an alternative job as a comedian, I swear. I love it.
But that would be my whole angle in my messaging, and what I did is why what you do is so important now, because these small businesses might not be able to get standard funding like they could before because they lost all that money in 2020.
Yeah. Okay. So Sue, best way to pitch for podcasts. All right.
I'll tell you, go and see what they've covered in your industry and what they haven't. What are they missing? What can you talk about? Sue, in your space, in the healthcare space, I'm sure they've probably talked about caregiver burnout, but find an angle that they haven't covered yet and listen to some of them. And say that, hey, I listened to these episodes. I noticed the one thing you haven't talked about yet is X. And this is why it's so valuable to your audience.
Yeah. And this is really important, because what you're also saying, Christina, is the importance of researching. And it's really important, because if you want, I know that Christina and I get pitched all the time, not that we have a podcast, but we get pitched of, do a JV, do a partnership. Can you promote this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And it's like, I don't know you. So, and it's interesting because somebody last week approached me for somebody who has 0 following practically. And I said yes to her, but it was how she approached me.
Yeah.
And here's what's really funny. It was how she approached me. Right. It wasn't, some hard pitch, but it was, and she had given me a lot of love on social media for 2-3 months beforehand. She worked me, and she, and it was great, but she gave me a lot of love. So I knew her name already. I had familiarity with her. She gave really thoughtful comments on my stuff. So I knew that I was in alignment. So when she asked me, I was like, I can't believe I'm going to take an hour for this woman to be on her thing. And I said, yes. And
then keep going.
Yes, go ahead. Tell them what happened.
What? No, but there was a super huge influencer who was one of the 10 on the call, probably doing a similar favor for this woman.
That's right. She was.
Right. Who is a huge connection for us. And yeah, I so believe in how this stuff works.
Yeah, but, I mean, and it's funny because this person who was on the call, who was even a bigger influencer than me, it was so fascinating because literally I've been connected to her several times in the last 5 years, and she hasn't even looked at me, has never responded through personal connections. But when she heard me speak right before her, she was like, she messaged me going, I don't know who you are, but now I do, and I need to know who you are. Like, and now we have a meeting. So just, even if you're a small fish, you can get to big fish. You just need to do less and be strategic. What suggestions do you have for searching for potential podcasts? So I would go to iTunes or Spotify. I would start to put in the topics. So for example, if you serve lawyers, look for all the lawyer podcasts. You don't serve lawyers, but like whoever that is, you want to healthcare for you. And then and if you're in iTunes, you can actually look at the rankings.
And Sue, the other type of thing I might look at are family podcasts. Things related to dementia podcasts. I'm sure there are things like that. What is related to your topic, and then think outside of the box. You always want to go where your customers are. That's the most important thing. So for you, your customer is probably a 50 or 60-year-old that has elderly loved ones, suffering from dementia, Alzheimer's, things like that.
Awesome. Okay, so what other questions do we have? We still have a few more minutes. We are here to serve you. In the meantime, you two might want to get a kick out of my agent side, thrivepowerfunding.com. Okay, cool. We'll check it up. Okay. Many thanks. Great. Good thoughts. Start with local media.
Yes.
Local media are really, really easy. Like I've been getting my own press since I was 13 and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I love how Callie's like now putting it in LinkedIn for us. Thank you, Callie. Other tips on becoming a thought leader. So Sue, in terms of becoming a thought leader, you have to be it. And I don't mean that in terms of you have to have the on paper. You have to be it internally.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be really honest. I mean, I've had a lot of success, but it's something that I really struggle with. And the reason why is because when I first immigrated from Canada to the US, I ended up sharing stages with some of the biggest names on the planet in terms of speaking. And I was so unbelievably disgusted by the whole guru thing. And I just couldn't get over how manipulative they were. And I was like, I never want to be famous like that. I never want to be in the spotlight and be a guru like that. And I could never be that person anyways. But it held me back for years of really being the famous person in my field, the A-lister in my field. And, it's something that I have, Tanya, my stylist, she did not dress me today. So if you don't like how I'm dressing, it's not her fault. But it's part of it is energetic, because I see people do everything right, but they don't get results, because their presence isn't right, because they're not. And that's, as a presentation and presence coach, that's one of the biggest things I look at. Yes, I can give you specific things to do in your presentation style to really up-level you. But if your energy's off and you're not truly owning that, I find that half of my work with my clients are psychological. So what other questions do we have? We still have a couple of minutes. We're super excited. While we're waiting for the final questions, we've got two types of people on this call. If you were that person who's like, Cindy, Christina, I know that I want to be one of your 5, I want a consultation, and you want to work with us personally, go to visibilityconsultation.com. If you're the people that are like, I want to work with you too, but I'm not quite there yet, you can look at our hub. It has tons of content and resources. You get weekly strategy videos from us that's literally 3 minutes and gives you a strategy to learn all this stuff every week. So you're always implementing and getting success. Plus you can actually do these group calls with us. And that starts at $27 for the first month. And then it's $97 a month to month from there. Oh, wait, we've got lots of questions coming on. And by the way, these links are in the comments now. Yay. Yeah. Okay.
YouTube comments too.
All right. So authenticity is key.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Don't I need to have thoughts to have a yeah. Mark is really my kind of guy. He's hilarious. So-called gurus can be kind of icky. That's why we keep calling out the fake shit. Yes, you do have to have thoughts. Yes, I agree. In the case of Shu, she's been in her industry forever. She is a thought leader already. So yes, and your thoughts have to be differentiated. Look at Callie. Oh my God. Love your value stacking, ladies. Nicely done. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, no slimy shit from us. But yeah, so you do have to have thoughts. And it's so unbelievably important to have something to say that's radically different, not just for the sake of shock value, but every single person has a story, has experiences that have made you who you are. You look at somebody like Callie, and she was homeless, and now she's a filmmaker and doing social issues. And like, she's a phenomenal human being and such a beautiful spirit. Callie, I miss you. I have to come to California when COVID's done. See you again. But you have to, she has perspectives on this. She's lived through it. So, I mean, I think about myself as a presentation trainer because I come from a performing arts background, working, with Broadway people and Emmy winners. And it's all about deep connection and truthfulness in how you interact with an audience, right? So when I look at most speaking training, most of it stand here, pose here, gesture, and smile. And I'm like, can I please throw up right now? No Broadway performer would ever do that. No Emmy winner would ever do that. None of us professional actors and singers would ever do that. So I piss off a lot of people in my industry because I'm so strong about we never do fake. It's about authentically bringing out your best and your craziest personality, whoever you really are. That is awesome, Callie. Look at the love. I love the love. Any last questions before we wrap this up? We're just waiting. There's always like a 30 seconds between us because I'm kind of trying to watch all the other streams. I feel like an octopus only with two hands, right?
I'm just here.
Yeah. So let's just see if we got any more comments coming in. I just want to wait for those 30 seconds. And while we do that, Christina, I just want to do a big shout out to you because you originally came to me as a client. And when I met you and I started working with you, I'm like, this woman is one of the most brilliant people I've ever met. And seriously, I mean, I've been in the performing world forever, the presentation world forever. And I see a lot of people teaching publicity and they know nothing compared to her. She's so unbelievably amazing. And then I ended up booking her, except for I haven't used my package with her yet. So if I start getting press again soon, because I'm ready to go for more. Links aren't in the chat box. Okay.
They're on the YouTube under the comments.
Okay. So
is this the chat box here to put in?
Yeah. So I'm just, she is brilliant. Okay. So Mark, this is for the hub. I'm going to put it back in the comments and this should be coming up in the YouTube. And then I'm going to put in the consultation. Hold on.
There we go.
www. Let's see if Cindy can spell. I'm going to put the banner up because I apparently can't spell today. It's a good thing I'm not an English major. Okay, visibilityconsultation.com. Okay. Mark, can you see them now? We've got flirting going on. I love it. Me too. You might be my kind of girl. I love it. That's so funny. Okay. I'm not seeing any last minute questions. This is so fun.
This is so fun.
This is so fun.
Everyone, an amazing 2021.
I know.
And get out there and differentiate yourself. Make yourself different. Stand out. It's so noisy online and there's so many ways to do it. So just do it. Do it.
Okay, awesome. He's got the links now. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing is I'm going to tell a quick story. Thank you for all. Brian's a love. He's helping create. He's amazing. He's helping artists to reinvent themselves to make money in COVID.
You were telling me about that.
Yeah, he's awesome. So here, I'm going to leave you with a final story that's going to inspire the living crap out of you. So here's what's really interesting is that when I immigrated from the US from Canada to the US, it was right at that time of the 2008 crash. So I had made the decision to move here. I didn't think it was a big deal. I spent $100,000 on immigration and I had all these contracts lined up. And the day that I was transferring all my money to the US was the day of the 2008 crash. By the time my immigration came through, I arrived in here, all my contracts were gone. I had no money left because I had sold my house to do immigration. And literally within that first year of being in the US, I was literally on stages with the biggest names in the world. I got an award from the US president, which is sitting behind my television award, and the Queen. And I got into all these major publications and this was all in the first year when I was in a brand new country dealing with nightmare situation, not knowing anybody. And if I could do that, then you could do this. Like, I hope that inspires you, because if, like, I'm just a normal person like the rest of us, we're all extraordinarily normal and a normal extraordinary. That made no sense. We're all amazing. Very good.
All right. On that.
All right. Thanks, ladies. Thanks, everybody. Big hugs and
Take
love.
care.
All right. Bye.